went from 60 kgs to 50 kgs to back to 60 kgs in a span of 4 years. Now this video is 100% authentic. The stuff I'm going to tell you are the exact things that I did when I went from this to this. I was pretty big. Okay, not big, just heavy. But this was me 4 years back. Before I go on, I just want to say that I'm not saying that being on the heavier side or on the bigger side is a bad thing, or that being thin and skinny is better. But I personally didn't like the way I looked. I wanted the muscle, I wanted the abs, and I wanted the strength. And I'm not at my ideal body type or my fat percentage, but I'm much closer to it than from when I started. Now a lot of people will call this baby fat. But when you're looking to lose weight, you don't care about what it is, or if you lose it in a couple of years, or if you just grow out of it. When it's on you, you just want to get rid of it as fast as possible. And I think that's what my motivation was, and what was really pushing me to do it. And it still does till this very day. I'm going to divide this video into 3 sections. First, what I did in terms of my workouts and my exercises. Second, what I ate, basically what my diet was like and what I was eating on a daily basis. And third, where I'm at right now, basically my body's current state. So watch this video till the very end to get a complete idea of what my journey was exactly like. Like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Okay, thanks, bye. Back to the video. 60 kgs. That's where I started. In the beginning, I was way too conscious to go to the gym, so I did what every 14-15-year-old kid would do. I searched for stuff like how to lose weight, exercise it at home, diet for weight loss. And I did come across some really good stuff. These YouTubers with insane bodies and workout routines, freaking Greek gods. But for someone who was just getting started at home on a yoga mat, all that just seemed impossible to me. I mean, I'd never trained or worked out before this, so even the exercises and the forms were completely new to me. Plus, I had zero core strength, so managing and keeping up with even a 20-minute ab workout seemed impossible and really tough. I'd end up sore almost every day, and at least for the first few weeks. This was during my summer break, so I had all the time in the world, and I think that was one of the reasons I couldn't make any excuses. So I'd be on that yoga mat every day without fail at 11 AM sharp. The fat was all over, but most evidently around my waist and on my love handles. So I remember I used to follow this one guy's videos. His name's Brendan Myers or something. I do his ab circuits, and I'd repeat his entire workout a couple of times, which would basically take me 20 minutes. So by the time I was able to work out continuously for a solid hour, I'd saved up about 3 to 4 of his videos, which I'd follow every day, and that would be my workout. But the thing is, you can't get rid of fat from just one point in your body. It's going to go from everywhere. Spot reduction is not a thing. You don't choose from where you lose fat. So when I started losing weight, I became really thin, to a point where I started looking anorexic. I'll talk more in detail about my diet and stuff later on, but basically, I was eating lesser number of calories than the amount I was burning out. So once I combined that with my workout, my body instantly started dropping weight. And once I noticed that, I didn't want to stop. So I continued on that path, and like I said, I started looking anorexic. But in my mind, since there was no muscle mass to replace the fat that was being lost in the body, I thought I was getting skinny fat. Skinny fat basically means you look thin when you've got clothes on you, but you're still a little fatty on the inside. But that was literally the last layer of fat I had on me, which was basically essential fat and the minimum amount you require on the body. And for me to get into shape, I just had to train my abs a little more and obviously work on my other body parts as well. All this happened in a span of 2 years, 2016 end to 2018. At this point, I started heading to the gym, where I continued to burn more and more calories. I used to do a lot of cardio, be it running on the treadmill for an hour straight, the cross trainer, the cycle, and even skipping once I learned to skip. And of course, still working on my core and my abs. I was just sweating it all out. And up until now, the psyche behind why I was doing so much cardio was basically because I felt that if I stopped doing it and stopped burning those many calories, I'd end up gaining weight again. To me, it felt like the more I was sweating, the better it was getting for me. Because by this point, I was following no diet, so there was no caloric deficit per se. I would basically eat the usual home food. So I wasn't getting any bigger or stronger or buffer, if you want to call it that. And I would have continued doing this if it wasn't for my trainer who stopped me one evening and told me that I should start doing weight training. So around 4 months back, I started doing weight training. And since then, I've had my days set at the gym, where I'm targeting one muscle group every day. I've seen pretty decent muscle development in these past 4 months. My arms, chest and back feel a lot bigger. My legs are surely stronger. And I can see my first 4 abs. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a win. Now coming to the second part of this video, my diet. Okay, I had no diet. I was just sticking to maintaining a caloric deficit, which like I said means I was consuming lesser number of calories than the amount I was burning. When I was starting off, my biggest issue was cutting down on my sweets, nothing else. And that's because I have a huge sweet tooth, like huge, and staying away from them was genuinely really hard for me. But once you make it past the first 20 days without this thing you try to avoid, it just gets easier to continue from there. And this works for anything and everything. And that's exactly what happened with me as well. My body eventually adjusted to the kind of food that was coming in. My breakfast on majority of the days would just be an egg and one toast, and I'd have a fruit if I was still hungry after that. Lunch and dinner for me would be usual home food. Along with this, what really helped me was increasing my water intake. Your body carries a lot of water weight, and it does this because you're not drinking enough of it. So it stores water for an emergency sticky situation where you're unable to consume water. So once you start increasing your water intake, your body will automatically know that you're drinking water on a regular basis. It doesn't need to keep that amount of water weight anymore. So it'll let that go. I stopped going out because I knew if I went out, I'd end up eating outside as well. And that would eventually just throw everything off. But the times I couldn't avoid stepping out, I'd make up for it through the day. Say I was going out for dinner. I knew I'd be consuming way more calories than I would have at home. So I just ended up skipping on my lunch or my breakfast or hardly eating anything through the day. Technically to a point where I was just starving myself. And it's probably my only regret through all this process. And the main reason I ended up looking too skinny. Never starve yourself. And that's pretty much the only advice I have for you guys. You feel hungry because your body needs the energy. So instead of starving yourself thinking you're avoiding the calories, eat the right stuff. If you don't eat, you're going to feel horribly weak and probably experience some severe health issues. A lot of trainers and dietitians suggest having 6 meals in a day instead of the usual 3, breakfast, lunch and dinner. But I personally stuck to that only because it worked for me. And if I felt hungry in the middle of those, I'd just end up having a fruit. An apple or a banana worked perfectly fine for me. I don't know how I forgot this, but while I was searching for diets on the internet, I came across this really weird juice mix, which was basically made from cinnamon and water. And you're supposed to have this on an empty stomach every morning because it was supposed to increase your metabolism, which basically meant I would be actively burning more calories. So forget water. This is what I was downing 6 a.m. in the morning every day. And the taste didn't help either. So I had this every morning for almost a year, and then I realized it wasn't really helping, so I stopped one day. Once I'd lost all the weight, I went back to my usual eating habits. 3 meals in a day, lunch, breakfast and dinner. If I stepped out, I eventually burnt it in the gym. So it didn't matter to me if I was or wasn't under caloric deficit anymore. Which brings me to my current state, where I'm at right now. I weigh 61 kgs with an 11 or 12% body fat percentage. Now I'm at a point where I'm burning enough calories in the gym to eat whatever I want on a day-to-day basis. But I still think twice before I consume anything, and I think that's for everybody who's been through a similar transformation. They're always calculating the amount of calories they're putting inside them. I'm in the gym for 1.5 to almost 2 hours every day, where I'm sticking to weights and doing a little bit of cardio, 15 to 20 minutes every day. For me, I don't think I've had a good workout if I'm not sweating enough. So by the time I get out of the gym, I make sure I'm drenched in sweat, just for my own satisfaction. The days I don't go to the gym or skip it for some reason, I'm a little restless, and I think that's because I'm so used to it by now. All this started off just as motivation for me, and now I need it for my own mental peace and satisfaction. So for anybody watching this video that's been thinking of going after that dream body of theirs, I want this video to be that thing that tips the scale for you. Just get working on your body, and you yourself will be surprised to see the changes you'll see in the next few months. This entire process took me 4 years, but it's equally possible to do within a couple of months or a year, depending on the amount of time, energy and effort you're ready to put into it. The key here, honestly, is just to believe in yourself and stay focused. If you've got that under control, I can guarantee you'll get there eventually. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you had a similar transformation, I'd love to know. So tell me in the comment section. Check the description for more details and follow me on my social media accounts, which are also mentioned down below. And lastly, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon to get notified and stay updated with new videos on it. I'll see you guys in the next video.